rough trail. Oh, look at that pond. Let's hit it.
What are you doing in there?
Just checking this baby out. This thing's sweet. Where'd you get it?
I got it for free.
What? How many coupons did you use to get this thing?
I only had one coupon, and it said, get this thing for free.
Wow, that's awesome. This thing's smooth.
Yeah.
I like that. So, when are we gonna take it out?
As soon as I get it running.
All right, well, give it a yank and let's roll.
Get out.
All right. Still, though, I want to drive it. You're gonna let me drive it, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
You got like old man things to do?
Not really. I'm just hanging out. You know me.
We'll go hang out somewhere else. Pterodactyl here, and today we're gonna work on this here free find. I got this find for free, and you're probably thinking, Taryl, how did you get that thing for free? You obviously ripped somebody off or stole it. Okay, this is the story on this thing. Customer came in to have a carburetor rebuilt, and we rebuilt the carburetor, and he came to pick up the carburetor, and he said, hey, I got one of these 6-wheel things. It's in my garage. I don't want it anymore. Do you want it? And I go, you don't want nothing for it? You're gonna give it to me for free? You don't want anything for it? It's a 6-wheel thing, like the banana splits. Remember that old show, the banana splits? La la la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Remember that show, the banana splits? So he said, hey, if you don't want it, that's okay. I'm just gonna take it to the dump. If I didn't want it, he was just gonna take it to the dump. And then, of course, somebody at the dump would have got it. So I said, hold on a minute here, sir. Let me hook up my trailer and I'll go to your house and get it. I said, you don't want anything for it. So I don't expect to get stuff for free, especially something as nice as this. So I told him, I said, if you need anything at the shop, don't worry, I'll take care of you. So check this thing out. This is called a Scrambler. And it was made in the 70s. Now, I looked it over and did a little research on it. Plus, the guy gave me a manual on it. So we got a book, too, that we can go over on it. But some things have been changed. So it's not totally original. But it is in very nice shape. And he told me that when he parked it, it ran. But he said he hadn't ridden it in about 5 years. And he had a bunch of crap in his garage and he needed the room and he just wanted it gone. And I said, I'm the guy to take it. Pretty neat, ain't it? I want to see how well it works. So I went on YouTube and I looked at some people who had some of these just to see what they had done to them and how they worked and how they drove. And I guess not too good in the snow. Not too good on real tight trails. I seen one guy tearing one up. I seen one guy had one with a V-twin 20-horse Honda in it. I seen another guy had a Vanguard in it. I don't know what horsepower, and it could be anywhere from 16 to 20. But it's pretty much all there. Tires are holding air. I think all we need to do is clean out the fuel and put a battery in it. So this is the information he gave me with the Scrambler, which was printed off the inner screen. And it's got a date of February 15, 2010 is when they printed this off the inner screen. But you could see the different models they had. They had a 4-wheel, little 4-wheel one. And then here's the 6-wheel one, like we got. Everybody out having fun, hunting, just having fun, using it on the farm, it looks like, or the ranch. Always got pretty girls in there. So this thing was made in Ohio, Genoa, Ohio. They're out surveying. This is called a gotcha. Looks like you could get tracks for it, which would be a lot better in the snow if you had tracks. Looks like they're jumping. There they are in the water. And they're showing you how it works. The drivetrain. Scrambler gets you anywhere you want to go. Even stuck. Specifications. So it's a fiberglass body. They say it's a 3-seater, but that back seat, you'd have trouble getting 2 full-size adults in there. 3 people, 2 little kids, and an adult. Now this one, it's saying it had a Tecumseh engine on it, single cylinder overhead valve, 16 horse Tecumseh. They're saying 35 miles an hour on the land and 4 miles an hour in the water. And here's the Scrambler story. You could pause it if you want to read the whole story. Pause it now. Pause. Pause the video so you can read the story. Zoom in. So here's the book. I'm going to start in the back here. It's got hydraulic brakes and hydraulic steering. There's a master cylinder here. And there's one for the brakes. And that's how you steer it hydraulically. This looks like they're both hooked to the steering. It looks like there's a left and a right master cylinder. And there's a little reservoir. They're showing a gas tank up front, but our gas tank isn't in the front. And there's no hole up front that had been plugged off because I looked on the body. So ours is a different model, I guess. Made a different year, but there was no gas tank in the front and there was no hole that had been fiberglassed over. Safest ATV built by anyone. Boy, they're making some strong claims here. 50,000 man hours of engineering and testing. And the highest quality materials and workmanship. Well, hey, it's still around. So, there's some truth to that. Another pretty girl on the beach, guy hitting on her. Hey baby, you want to sit in my Scrambler? On land, it's a moving machine. In water, it's amphibious. In snow, it's a snowmobile. In sand, it's a dune buggy. Well, the guy I seen driving it in the snow got stuck on YouTube. And there's no reverse, so you have to get out like a snowmobile and get it unstuck. Now the gotcha, that's the 4-wheel models. And then the Scramblers are the 6x6s. And then this price list is from '74. So this is what they cost. So for $1,800 you could get one with no engine and put your own engine in there. I think they even had a 2-cycle 440 snowmobile engine that came in one of the models. So ours is probably one of these models here. The 12, the 14, or the 16. But ours has a 10 horse in it. And the code date on the engine is 1985. So that engine had been replaced at some point. That's not the original engine. I guess they had stick or steering wheel on these models. So the little gotchas were stick steering only, and it looks like reverse was extra. So you could add a reverse to it for $100, but nowhere in this manual does it show the reverse or mention the reverse. So I don't know how they added a reverse to it, but I've got an idea, which we'll go over later. And then what else? Oh yeah, there's another part I had here. So here's a parts list. And again, this is probably from '74, I would think, because these prices are pretty cheap. See, more pretty girls. I guess these were chick magnets back in the day. So here, we got accessories. So there was an outboard motor bracket. So if you wanted to go faster in the water, you could buy a bracket that mounted to the Scrambler, and then you could go a little faster in the water. A tonneau cover, windshield, convertible top, fuel gauge, hour meter, tail lights. Dual wheel extension kit. So what, you'd have 12 wheels? Yeah, I'm sure the tracks would be the best way to go. And then a conversion kit. Yeah, I don't know, all those wheels, that's a lot more horsepower to turn all those wheels. Look at the prices on them tires, they're pretty cheap, but back then that was expensive. Metal signs for dealers. First one's free, the next one's $5. Posters, no charge. Back patches. Shoulder and pocket patch. I guess you could sew them on. Hey, look at me, I'm a scrambler. And then of course it's got how to adjust things, features. You know, we could spend a whole video just going through this. There's parts breakdowns, icy conditions, they're telling you how to drive it. Oil, what oil to use and what temperatures. There's a carburetor. That looks like a Tacumish carburetor. How to adjust the chains and the brakes. So this is useful information that I may have to consult. It's faster to look in here than to sit there and try to figure it out. This is the parts list for those models. Key switch, which ours has a push button, so that had been changed. So we'll go over it and I'll point out the things that I think were changed. There's the steering. Yeah, see, looks like 2 master cylinders. One controls each left and right steer. There's stick steer, works the same way, hydraulically. But it looks like it only uses, oh no, there's 2 master cylinders there. Tires. I thought that wasn't the original seat. That kind of reminds me of the Mitsubishi symbol for cars. That's on our seat. So these breakdowns are kind of handy. There's those master cylinders. All right, that's the manuals. Now let's look at the machine. Let's take a close look at it. He gave me the plugs. He said it was watertight. And he had done a lot of work to it, he told me. He told me he drilled all these rivets out, had the top off, resealed it, he painted it, camouflaged it up. See, here's the seats, got that. So that's the original seat. I thought, well, maybe somebody changed the seat at one time. He put this thing on here, which, I don't, you know, just to give it that look, I guess. It's going right in the trash. I don't want that. So this is how the back seat flips out, so we can see the drivetrain. And look, they zip tied an extra belt in here. Now take a good look at inside here. Look at what it would take if you blew a belt out on the trail. You have to get this belt around this shaft in order to replace the belt, which to me looks like you got to take a lot of stuff apart to change a belt on this thing. So you would have to tow this back to a shop unless you did it already and knew what tools you needed. So there's an extra belt already there. You just got to cut the zip ties, take this bolt out, and then you can put the new belt on. So that was a good idea, but it doesn't look like it's easy to change that belt. Now watch here, because this is how you steer it hydraulically. So the camera's going to look at these, and I'm going to turn the steering wheel, and you'll see these things move. See? So it puts pressure on this brake disc, locks up one side of the wheels, locks up these three wheels. Then when you give it the gas, that's how you turn it. See, it does the same over there. And like I said, this is a 10-horse Briggs & Stratton with a 1988 or 85 code date, so I'm sure that's not the original engine. Again, not easy to replace the engine. It would have been nice had they had made, you know, this flip up. This would be cut somewhere and hinged. So if you want to take the engine out of this thing, you got to drill all these rivets out and take this top off. So that's kind of, you know, 50,000 hours of man hours, 50,000 man hours of design. You think somebody in the design team would have said, we should make this hinge so you can get at the engine. Now he told me he added this gas door back here for the gas tank. And again, all the models I've seen, the gas tank is up here. But I looked inside on the fiberglass and there's no repair where they had patched over this anywhere. Plus there's a big metal bracket back there. So I don't know if that's that shelf back there, that bracket is for that original tank, or if maybe the battery went back there. But the battery is under the seat. And that's a bad spot. Because you have to, it's not easy to get at the battery. You want to be able to get at the battery, and I don't think this is the original location of the battery. So this is ripped out now. This was secured somehow to it, but now it's just ripped out. I gotta have a seat that's mounted solid in there. I don't like that idea. So I think they relocated the battery. We're gonna get it running and drive it. I'm gonna take the battery and probably build my own battery box and put it back here in the back so you can get at it in case you gotta jump start this thing. And then of course this whole floor pan on the bottom here, you know, this lifts out. But I want to be able to lift it out. And then I'll be able to fix how the seat mounted to this. But here's the switches. So there was probably a key switch here originally. And this is the choke for the carburetor. Oh look, we got a little largemouth bass hanging here. Got the whole hunting and fishing thing going on. And these are the switches to turn the engine on and off. And the headlights. And he had a trickle charger hooked to this battery. Let's see. I might hit the button here. Oh look, still a little juice in the battery. Oh. Oh. I don't believe it. So we're gonna have to jump this thing. All right, well, let me suck the gas out of what's left. There is a little gas left in the tank. Let me suck the gas out of this thing now that we've gone over it all. And see if we can get this thing started and take it for a ride. All right, let's see what color this gas is. I don't have a Musty 1 mug, but I do got a ball jar. Because you know Musty takes my coffee cups and puts gas in them. Which is not offensive to me. Look at that stuff. Boy, that looks fresh. That looks like some fresh fuel to me. It should fire right up on this. Fire it up, fire it up, fire it up, fire it up. Now we're gonna suck it out, suck it out, suck it out, suck it out. Get my transfer pump. That'll be a separate video. Transfer pump. Will it fit? Oh boy, look at that. That's some nasty fuel there. Yeah. That's some old nasty nastiness there. Now, another problem. Trying to get to this carburetor. Now he does have these panels back here. Now these are just like sheet metal screwed in there. I could always add some nut certs to here and put some regular threaded hardware in it instead of these sheet metal screws to put 4 nut certs in there. Oh, look, yeah. Look at the carburetor's right in there. And that's a good carburetor. I should just be able to take the high-speed nut out of the bottom of the carb and open the gas valve, pour some fresh gas in there and kind of let it run through. Hopefully when he parked it, he seemed like a very conscious guy when it came to like winterizing or storing stuff. Because like I said, he had this inside a garage. It's never been outside. I mean, look at this. I never get fines like this. Usually I gotta give you something for free, Taryl. And it's something usually that's been outside and it's all rusty and somebody taking it apart because it broke and missing all kinds of parts. So let me gotta feel around down here. And find that high speed nut, which is 7/16, it should be. Oh yeah, it wasn't even that tight. I checked the oil too. Oh, there's gas coming out. I can feel it. Oh, Look at that's good indication there. So at least the fuel isn't all green. It was a wooden framed garage. It was like an extra garage behind his house. And that's good because that absorbs, moisture. As you can see in that bucket, there's no water in it, so there was no phase separation. It wasn't heated garage. I'll put some gas in it. Some fresh gas. Not gonna fill it all the way up. Now I'm gonna open the valve again because I closed it and let some run through. All right, I'm gonna switch on and I'm gonna keep my finger on it just in case. I check the throttle, make sure it doesn't stick. It's at idle, but I'll keep my finger on this kill switch just in case I gotta make an emergency stop. Well, let's see if this thing will start. All right, let's give it a little help. Just need a little help to get it to start for that first time. Switch is on. Maybe we got no spark. Give it a good shot. We'll get her going. Huh. Whoa! Wanted to start that time. All right. I guess we do got spark. Whoa!
Oh, it's almost there. I heard it.
Yeah. Make sure the choke is going the right way. Flippers, you're gonna have to help me. You know where the choke lever is?
Right here somewhere.
See that thing there, that lever?
This one. Choke it.
Stupid flashlight. Alright, flip that lever.
Alright, it's on green.
Okay, that's choke. Full choke. And flip it back. It's dripping. I think the needle might be sticking. Let's try starting it again.
Okay.
Runs!
Sounds like it just needs carb clean.
I think the needle is sticking. Try it again. Try setting the idle up.
stand in front of it if it takes off.
I want you to stand in front of it.
No.
I want you to lay down in front of it.
No, that's not safe.
A little too high idle. Hey, it's running.
It's sick.
Why you have to have your finger on the switch? What else if I turned it on the right way?
Reverse, back it out.
Oh, you know what one stupid thing I forgot to do? That was to check the oil. You're almost celebrating and boom!
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay, next video is going to be putting another engine in this here Scrambler. She's a little low. We'll top her off. Since it ain't got reverse, we're gonna have to spin it around. And let's take it for a ride.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention another thing. This thing's got a hydraulic parking brake. I could have had the parking brake on when I was running it in there. Instead of worrying about it running me over. All right, let's fire it up. Switch on. Some work on the throttle. This thing doesn't rev up, not even close. The governor's still hooked up to it, but I need to get more RPMs out of it because I got the thing buried in the floor and it's just barely coming off of idle there. And you need that speed to steer it. And as you can tell, it doesn't steer real good on pavement. Now my experience with these, because I've only worked on a couple of them in the years. The last one I worked on was probably, I don't know, 2011 or something. It was a stick steer, and I know to get it to steer, you really got to get some speed going, and you got to kind of slide it to get it to steer. So I need to work on this throttle so I can get some more RPMs out of it. Well, we got it running. I just got to do some other stuff to it. One thing being, I need to have a better access to the engine without having to take this whole top off. It's like nearly impossible to get to that carburetor through there and you know, rig up a better throttle. I might disable the governor on it so we can get some more speed out of it. I got an idea for adding a reverse that I got from Musty One. He's got an amphibious vehicle, a four-wheel one. It's got two little wheels in the front, two in the back. It's called a Beaver. It was made for the Canadian Army. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Musty One's YouTube channel and go on his playlist and you'll find the Beaver. And he's got like 11 videos on it. And I texted him and I said I watched all 11 of your videos and you were a little hard on the Beaver last night. So check that out, because he had to repower his, because his had a Villers, an English Villers motorcycle engine in it. And he repowered it with a 10-horse Briggs and a torque converter set up. And he had one of those forward and reverse transmissions that they use on a lot of four-wheelers. You can buy it aftermarket. So I'm thinking I might be able to rig that up in here, like he did on that one. And what I mean is I could buy that forward and reverse gearbox and mount it over here somewhere with the torque converter, and then off of this shaft put a sprocket to a chain to that gearbox. But the only thing is, if I'm going to do something like that, I've got a limited amount of height here because of the seat. So I may have to eliminate the rear seat in order to do that.
What? How am I going to ride with you?
Or raise the seat up somehow.
Oh, there you go.
But that's down the road. I got to look at that. I got to buy one of those gearboxes, and then we may or may not repower it too at some point. Might put a Vanguard in it. I've got a twin Vanguard I can pop in here because this is only 10 horse. Get some more horsepower. But the first thing I want to do is get more speed out of the engine. It's not running fast enough. See if we can get it to go faster. They're saying 35 miles an hour. This thing nowhere near 35 miles an hour. 35 miles an hour is pretty fast. I think I'd be afraid to go 35 miles an hour in this thing. You gotta see that thing that Musty's got, that Beaver. That thing is squirrely. They should have called it Squirrely instead of the Beaver. Two little wheels in the front and him trying to drive that thing.
The squirrel.
All right, well, that's all there is today on the Scrambler, the free find. Watch for upcoming videos on this when I get a chance, because like I said, I'm gonna try to figure out some kind of way of accessing this engine better. Maybe make this part back here flip up on a hinge. So I'll be able to take out the seat and flip up part of this back so you can get at the engine easier. Because it's like next to impossible to work on anything in this engine-wise. All right, well, I'm Taryl, and this is
Flip Dog. What's up?
Subscribe to this YouTube channel, Taryl Fixes All. Go to our web store, get some Taryl apparel. He's wearing some, I'm rocking some. Follow us. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I said follow us, don't bother us. And as always, there's your dinner. Woo!
Yeah.
Free Scrambler from customer. What a cool machine.
Oh yeah.
Didn't have to do a major amount of work to it so far. I gotta get it in the water yet. I want to see what it'll do in the water. I got some ideas for that too.